Hi, I'm Karissa Vacker, and welcome back to Sleep Wave, a podcast where we let waves of relaxation wash over you through original sleep meditations created to help you fall asleep tonight. And don't worry if you don't hear the end of an episode. I encourage you to drift off whenever you're ready. Before we get started on tonight's episode, I'd like to say thanks again for all of the great ratings and reviews you guys have left us on Apple Podcasts and some of the other networks too. We loved hearing from JTuck07, who feels deeply relaxed when listening to Sleepwave and drifts easily into a great night of sleep. We're so happy to hear that. So if you too find that sleep has come easier since listening to Sleepwave and you've not yet reached out to us, please feel free to let us know via the reviews on Apple Podcasts. We read them every day, and your ratings and reviews help us reach even more people who need a little help with their sleep right now. If you're someone like me who often struggles with indecision, there is such a sweet relief when you are gifted with the feeling of clarity. When indecision happens, it's often because different parts of ourselves are trying to get our attention. There might be a very rational part of ourselves that is warring with a more intuitive part of ourselves, and each part has a good point to make, so which are you to listen to? One of the benefits I notice when I meditate consistently is a greater sense of clarity in my day-to-day. Meditation allows you to watch your thoughts, to notice your feelings, to have awareness about the sensations in your body. If you've used the advice, listen to your gut, meditation is like turning up the volume on what it's trying to say. It's so easy to avoid all these inner clues, this inner guidance, if we don't stop and listen. Meditation creates the perfect opportunity to hear this guidance. Recently, I needed to make a decision that felt hugely important and is something that would impact my life in many ways. So, while sitting in meditation, I imagined I was drinking in clarity, wisdom, and guidance, like it was flowing to me easily, and all I had to do was sit and be there with it. While I didn't hear a loud voice that boomed, "Do this, not that," I was able to feel into which choice felt more aligned with my life on the whole. While subtle, it was still clear and gave me peace with moving forward. If you feel so inclined, join me in this exercise now. Get calm and steady and breathe in and out a few times. When you feel ready, bring to mind a decision you're trying to make. Once you've got that in mind, feel into your body, your mind, your breath, how it feels to think about the choices that are before you. Now, let all of those feelings and thoughts go and imagine you were drinking in clarity. Inhale deeply and exhale fully. Inhale in all the wisdom and insight available to you, and exhale any fear, worry, or concern. Thanks for joining me on this little meditation before the meditation. It will give you a cozy basis to begin the deeper relaxation we'll do tonight as we explore the concept of clarity as we sleep. This simple but profound practice of meditating before sleep will allow our minds to open to the insight that is always available to us. For now, settle into your bed, feeling your whole body relax. There's nothing to do but go on this meditation journey, which will help you drift into a deep and peaceful sleep, bringing more clarity and peace into your day tomorrow. Here's Clarity and Insight Through Intuition by Billy Gill. What to do when you don't know what to do? It's a tough situation that we often find ourselves in, and it can leave us feeling lost. Clarity is an elusive sense of trusting that you see things as they are. A lack of clarity is often the result when competing interests cloud your understanding. Overthinking is often a culprit. In order to examine these dynamics, imagine a scenario where you are reclining on a sofa and feel that you want a glass of water. You're very comfortable though, and you also want to stay seated on the sofa. In this situation, you are alone and therefore have a dilemma. At once, there is something inside of you that wants to get up and perform the action of pouring and drinking a glass of water, while something else is compelling you to stay comfortably motionless on the sofa. One of these motivations will eventually win out over the other. If there is enough energy behind the motivation to drink, you won't be resting on the sofa much longer, but should you decide against leaving this comfortable position, you will have no choice but to subjugate your thirst to your repose. Both motivations come from within you, and both are asking for fulfillment to a greater or lesser extent. Of course, if you take this example to an absurd extreme, you will eventually need food and water to survive, and that impulse will almost certainly overcome your desire to remain on the sofa. Eating and drinking belong to that collection of instincts that so pervasively appear in all of the animal kingdom, humans being no exception. Instinct is a phenomenon that people casually cite without much precision. We tend to understand instinct as something that happens on its own, naturally. But there are other characteristics of instinct that make it even more distinct. We see certain prey animals reflexively recoil from their natural predators. We even do the same thing ourselves when we see certain animals. The fact that this behavior repeats in a regular way across various species points to its instinctive quality. There is a common example of misapprehension that is often given to demonstrate how we perceive and respond in an instinctual way. When someone sees a rope coiled up in a dimly lit room, they may mistake it for a snake and immediately become fearful, letting out a shriek and running out of the room, only to return moments later with a flashlight and discover that they were terrified of a bit of rope. The instinctive impulse to avoid snakes was underlying the whole process. Similar to a reflex, an instinct belongs to the unconscious. In the case of the rope, the possibility of it being dangerous overrides rational thinking, and the impulse to run predominates. Reflexes are responses to stimuli that trigger a whole cascade of events in the body, like a sneeze. A sneeze is quite a complicated reflex. When a foreign particle enters your nose, the delicate lining of your nose sends an electrical impulse to your brain, which then sends a signal to your body to coordinate a series of contractions. Usually, your eyes are forced shut, the tongue moves to the roof of your mouth, and your chest muscles, diaphragm, abdominals, vocal cords, and the muscles in the back of your throat all work together to help you expel the irritant. Of course, all of this happens instantaneously and without the need for conscious thought. So too, instincts are not totally conscious, and they arise from an inner necessity. We see the same responses happening over and over again in nature. So much so that we take for granted the meaning of the term instinct as something we implicitly understand. Intuition is very similar to instinct in that it is a largely unconscious process. Where instinct is usually apparent as some outward behavior, intuition is more like perceiving something inside of you. An intuition is something we sense from within, but without the aid of the senses themselves. Just as the reflexes can activate a complicated sequence of events in the body, intuition is when you perceive something just as complex within yourself. The phenomenon of intuition is our way of dealing with an overwhelming amount of information without having to parse it out consciously, just as we don't have to consciously identify the rope as a threat to treat it like one. Trusting your intuition can yield tremendous clarity, but it isn't always the easiest thing to do. Tonight's sleep meditation offers clarity and insight into the process of clarity and insight. Instincts have made and continue to make the demands of survival for us and our animal neighbors more likely to be met by outsourcing unnecessary mental activity to the unconscious mind. Intuition gives us clarity by outsourcing the ability to see things clearly to the unconscious mind. Until we learn to trust our instincts, our actions can be overly stilted and awkward. In the same way, until we learn to trust our intuition, our ability to have clarity in complex situations will be unnecessarily blunted. It isn't that the rational mind no longer applies, but that it is relatively limited in its ability to weigh all the data. The rational mind is conscious and can only assimilate information through the narrow tunnel of conscious attention. The unconscious is unknown to the conscious mind, but it manifests itself through intuition. When you have a sudden idea or a hunch, this is the result of an intuition. You have perceived something unconsciously, and it has erupted into your consciousness. Rational thinking is voluntary thinking. Intuition is involuntary. Many people tend to place more trust in the powers of their rational mind, but this is mostly because they feel that they have carefully considered all the data. They've come to their conclusions by voluntary means, and this gives them the sense that they have done their due diligence, so the decisions must be sound. This is mostly an illusion. There are simply too many pieces of information to consider in any given situation, and we end up reverting to intuition anyway. Why not trust your intuition from the start? Relax any physical tension in the body. Make any necessary adjustments to your physical body and try to become still. If you have to move, that's okay. Just make sure they are conscious movements. No unconscious movements. Slowly breathe in through your nostrils and out through your mouth. Notice a brief pause at the bottom of your exhale, and then allow the next inhale to rise again. As you inhale, imagine there is a kind of white steam that is boiling upward from the abdomen to the head until the entire head is filled with this white steam, so much so that you can't see anything else. Now exhale and visualize the white steam leaving the body so that the head becomes empty. As this white steam leaves the body, it carries with it all your worries and tension and anxiety, anger, or depression. These are all things that cloud the mind. As they leave the body, they are replaced with a clear blue sky. Inhaling through your nostrils and seeing this white steam rising upward from your belly to your head, whiting out everything completely. No other thoughts but this white steam. Exhale and let go of any negative thoughts that cloud your mind, replacing them with the clear blue sky. Remain in that clear place of pure perception. Go on breathing in this way, slowly. steam rising on the inhale. Exhale. Negative thoughts leave with this cloud of white. Clear blue sky. Clear blue sky. Clear blue sky. The clear blue sky becomes a clear night. In the inky black sky, the stars begin to shine. The North Star is the guide star of the heavens. Travelers have used it for centuries to determine their location. When we are trying to make a correct decision, in a way, we are trying to navigate our journey. We must determine our location by the constellations of our intuition. Visualize the North Star. On any clear night, if you find the Big Dipper, the two stars that form the front of the Dipper's cup point the way to the North Star, which shines brightly with a purple aura. It is the tip of the Little Dipper's handle. Visualize the North Star and feel that this purple light descends and enters your body at the top of your head. At the highest point on your head, equidistant between the ears, is a place called the meeting of all points. All the meridians of your body converge at this point. Imagine the energy of the North Star meets your energy at this point and begins to glow like golden fire. All the meridians in your body take on this golden light all the way down to your toes. Allow any areas that don't easily take on the light to soak a bit longer in this healing energy. The body becomes filled with this light. You are using your imagination. Don't feel that this is a trivial thing. As you think, so shall you be. The image of the golden light entering at the crown of your head and suffusing your body activates your intuition. Allow your mind to be calm and relaxed. Trust what your intuition perceives. This is your unconscious mind seeing more clearly than you are able to see with your consciousness. The conscious mind narrows down and focuses on particular points, but the unconscious mind gathers all the other points together in the totality. Let your mind be open, clear, calm, and quiet. Your intuition understands the whole. When you are calm and relaxed, the right action arises by itself. The results of intuition appear as a moment of clarity, a flash of insight, an aha moment. Breathe in the golden light entering and warming all the channels and spaces of your body. If you feel that there is some part of the body that remains dark, let the light soak a little deeper into this area. It cleanses and washes away any obstructions, mental, physical, or both. Now release any visualizations. Simply remain in this state of open awareness. Trust your intuition. Your unconscious has access to understanding that lies far from the reach of your waking, conscious mind. The waking mind will understand what intuition understands only as the aha moment. This is an afterthought. Remain In this open awareness, release the need to rationalize or analyze. Calm, quiet, peaceful. The intuition sees what the mind cannot. And the right action arises by itself.